What?
He ships it, because Phil could be, you never know. Phil could be making a move here.
Phil's been playing solid since we've been watching.
We know this. So anyway, Ducky does make the move, gets snap called by Phil, and Kings end up holding, which is weird in itself. So
I mean, Ace 10, like I don't even really like Ace 10 that much.
Yeah, and that's what was funny when he came back to him. I said, Ace 10 is one of those hands where I'd much rather be raising with it than calling with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but once you get 3-bet with it, like we don't need to go into
then I'm just crying with it actually at that point.
Well, we love Ducky. We know he's excellent, and those things happen. He chose a spot that he thought was going to work out for him, and it didn't. And I prefer a winning style to a just trying to like ladder up style, which I think Ducky definitely does that, and that's why we see him at so many final tables and not just like bubbles and min caches. So definitely his style is a more aggressive approach, which puts him in these spots to make these final tables and win.
You're right. You're playing to win. You're not playing for the next $100 pay jump, right?
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
That's what I said when Ducky. I was like, yeah, it's cool. He got almost $1,000, but let's face it. Every player who plays this long, you're into the tournament 13 hours and some change. You're playing for the big money up top. You're playing for the 13.5K.
You maybe just like we've all done that too, or we just like have a little implosion, and then you're out. It's just like
So Daniel Farad says, I'm sorry, he said he could have folded. Phil can always have a better ace in that spot. Absolutely, he could. But at the end of the day, the thing about that is that he thought Phil was weak, and he thought that 99% of the time Phil's going to lay that hand down. He just chose pole, where he ran into kings, unfortunately. Sweet. Perfect. Boom. All right, we can do this. You ready? And
yeah, also it's like whenever it's already midnight and this tournament started at 10 a.m., people have already been playing for 14 hours. So when you really take into account the amount of mental toughness it takes to play solid for 14 hours and not make any mistakes, all it takes is one mistake and you're out of this thing. And it's hard to play super solid and correct for that long, right?
Well, absolutely. And this is what we talk about in people say, okay, well, let's hold on, let's talk about that. But I'm totally on board with you. So Johnny B, the original Razor Pre, makes it 28K. Rayo with a 3-bet to 70 now. Johnny B checks on the flop. Rayo bets 60. Johnny B check raises to 130. Everybody just airballing this here. And look at this. Johnny B gets super lucky on the turn, connects with his queen, and now bets 100. This is a 6 spot for Rayo, because actually that queen now gives you, along with your 2 overs, a straight draw as well if a 10 peels. And I love that the guy next to Rayo is literally drinking an entire carafe of water. I respect that. Stone's water bottles aren't big enough. Give me the whole carafe with 3 slices of lemon immediately. The river, the deuce of diamonds. Now this does complete the potential flush draw on board. Obviously, Rayo doesn't have it, but that doesn't slow down Johnny one bit here. Is Tinder good for dating? Tinder is good for drama. And now he bets 70K. It's so weird. So you have this check raise to 130 on the flop, then you have a down bet on the turn to 100, then you have an even bigger down bet on the river to 70. This hand is just weird. This is like the Winchester Mystery House hand right here. And then you have the one guy in between just drinking the carafe. I love it. I love everything about this hand.
Like, for some reason, it feels like he should have a cigarette in his other hand. I don't know, but